Alright, in this lesson what we're going to do is we're going to take this logo that I have created, and we're going to take the logo that you have created, and we're going to reduce it. The thing that I want you to get from this the most is that when you reduce this down to a different size, the lines that you've created, if they have a stroke and an outline and a weight to them, when you reduce this logo, the size of the logo itself is going to change, but the thickness or the heaviness and the weight of these lines are all going to stay the same. And so what we want to make sure of is that we get everything selected, we reduce the size down, but at the same time we'll have to change these individual lines. Now the text is a different type of graphic, so it's not going to reduce or need to be reduced in its weight on the outline. But the lines that we've created with the drawing tools are definitely going to need to be changed. Okay? So let's go ahead and start the process here. Now the first thing I'm going to do is save this work. And when I do that, the reason why I save it is because I'm going to make a second copy of this. I'm going to copy and paste this, make a second version of it, and then if I make a mistake when I'm doing any work on it, the original version is safe and I've got a second version ready to go. Okay? That way if I mess it up I don't have to worry, I've got the original. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to select a new document, and I'm simply going to make sure that it's letter size 8.5 by 11, same orientation, which is portrait, and I'm just going to select OK. And then I'm going to reduce the size down of my artboard because as you can see it's all the way to the edges and I can't really see the edges if I put rulers up, which you'll see here in just a moment. So I'm going to go Command minus, and that reduces the size down by holding down the Command and the minus key on the keyboard. And now I'm going to go ahead and select Command R for my rulers, and let's set the origin to this top left corner, and now we're ready to go. If I move the toolbar over just a little bit, you can see that the zeros are set on the top left corner. Now what I'm going to do is set this document up so that I can copy and paste the other original artwork to this page. So I'm going to move this over to my left by selecting these arrows here, and we are going to make our little desk top a little smaller, and I'm going to click and drag this over to the right, and I'm going to do the same thing to my design, and you'll see why I'm doing this in just a moment. Now I can select my artwork here on this document and drag it over or place it on this document. There's two ways to move this. One is you can select the object that you've created and then just drag it over and drop it. And there you go. I release it and there we go. It's over there. Okay? So just drag it or select it and then drag it and drop it. Now the other way to do this is to select this object that I've created and drawn on the computer, and then what we're going to do now is we're going to do a nice little copy and paste. Alright, so what I'm going to do is copy this, which I've already copied it, so we're going to copy it, and now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select this document on the right side of my screen, select it, and I'm going to do an edit and paste, and when I select this other page here, it knows that I want to do something to it, so it's going to take my paste and place it over here on this other document. Now the reason why I did this was if anything happens to the work I'm doing here on this second document I created, I have this as a fallback. I can always go back and get back to my original, which I could do anyway, but I want to have a backup of it. Alright? So now I'm going to reduce this down in size, and what you're going to notice is when I do reduce this and make it a smaller logo, these lines are going to stay the same thickness. So let's go ahead and reduce this. Now there's two ways I can do this. One, I can just simply take my cursor, select this handlebar, and just reduce it down, but you'll notice I'm not very active. It's not going to stay proportionally correct. I'm going to be a little bit too tall or a little bit too wide, and it's not going to look correct. So let's go ahead and undo that. And now what I am going to do is keep this proportionally correct. So I'm going to hold down my shift key, and I'm going to hold down the shift key and I'm going to click and drag on this corner, and you'll notice as I'm moving my cursor around, if my hand slips or moves or has a problem, as I'm holding down the shift key, it's going to stay proportionally correct. Alright? And so it's not that difficult to do. Now when I release this, you can see that my lines are a little bit on the heavy side. Let's reduce this down a little more. And then we will zoom in. And now you can see that these lines are quite a bit heavier than what they were over here on the original document. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go ahead and let me undo that. Made a small mistake there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to select this object that I've drawn, and I'm going to select it so that I can reduce and thin out these lines, so I can make these lines a little bit lighter weight. And so let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to take my selection tool and I'm going to deselect. So I just click anywhere in the white background, and now I'm going to click and drag just around the object itself. And now I'm going to reduce the size of these lines from a 5-point line down to a 1-point line. We'll see what that looks like. And there you go. It's fairly close to what we have over here, but notice the lines are a little bit on the thin side. So let's go ahead and change that. Let's select our drawing one more time. And now what we're going to do is simply thicken this line up to 2 points, and that looks pretty good. The lines might be a little bit just slightly too heavy. Let's change that one more time back to 1, or maybe we should just go ahead and type that in to a 1.5. So I'm going to type that in with my keyboard. I select my cursor and place it here by clicking in this little white box here for the stroke, and now I'm going to type in 1.5, so 1.5. And then I'm going to just click anywhere on this document in the background, and you'll notice, oh, did I make a mistake? There we go. As soon as I do that, it will change over to the new document here. There we go. Alright, so now we're at, oh, it didn't change. Let's change that one more time. Let's go 1.5. And there we go. We've got a 1.5 document here, and it looks really nice. So if you're having any struggles with this, please come and see me in class. If you're not, good luck to you, and I hope you enjoy this lesson.